Hey grade fives, we know that an adaptation, right, is any kind of physical feature of a plant or an animal or even a person that helps them to survive in their environment. So I'm just in my garden. I'm gonna go have a look and see if we can find any animals or plants that have adaptations. Not expecting to see many animals, but we might see some birds or something. Alright, we're going to start with these two. So, I wasn't quite sure whether to include these two birds or not, because they have been bred to be domestic animals. That means humans have bred them over the years, and these two chickens have been bred, certainly the one on the right, to be fat, so she's nice to eat. I'm not going to eat her though. And also to lay lots of eggs. So looking at the chicken's beak, we know that birds' beaks are adapted to suit their diets. So this chicken has got a short, quite strong, pointed beak, and it's quite versatile, right? So it can eat fruit, seeds, and even insects with that beak. As well, this chicken has got sharp claws on her legs, which she can use to scratch in the dirt and to find bugs and things. But let's keep looking. So, very quickly, the chicken doesn't eat it. I found an earthworm. It's got a number of adaptations, right? So, go away, chicken. The chicken's trying to eat it. Its size, the fact that it's got no fur, it's got smooth skin, so it can crawl around in the dirt. It's got no eyes or any rough parts of its body sort of to get caught on the dirt. All of those are structural adaptations that help an earthworm to survive in its natural environment, which is crawling around under the leaf litter and in the dirt and sort of eating rotten vegetation. So there you go, chicken. Yeah, chicken ate it. So I've just turned over, this is a cover for an old beehive. And underneath there's a bunch of snails and there's a slug. All of these animals are also adapted to their environment. So hey guys, I thought it would be worth looking at some plants as well. This plant is called pigface. In its natural form, I'll just break off a little piece. It is found in the wild, although this one's been bred to have big pretty flowers. But you can see straight away that this kind of plant is going to be pretty good at living in dry environments. And if you look in Australia, this is native to Australia, you see these often like in sand dunes, in really dry soil, so where the soil doesn't retain a lot of moisture. And so to compensate for not having heaps of water, these have really thick sort of fleshy leaves which they can fill with water. And if I break that apart, you can see that's just filled, if I squeeze that, filled with liquid, right? And they also don't have a big surface area. They're kind of a triangular shape, if you can see that. And that way they don't have a lot of surface area for water to evaporate, or it's called transpiration when it comes through the plant leaves. While I'm talking about plants, here's another one that's got these thick fleshy leaves, and you can just tell that that is a really drought tolerant plant. The way that plants might conserve water is through having little hairs on them. This is called a lamb's ear because it's got these little hair, and it looks kind of soft and it feels really nice, like a lamb's ear. But this white fur helps to keep the plant cool, keep the sun off it, and it helps to stop that plant from losing a lot of moisture through transpiration as well. One more that I wanted to show you just before I go back in, and unfortunately I've trimmed this one right back, but this is a rose bush, and if you've got a rose bush in your garden, you'll see that it's got these sharp things on it, thorns, right? Because some animals might like to eat that rose bush, and having sharp thorns is really going to help that rose bush to survive in its environment.